Ha!
Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I have another Marvel related video for you. We have some Marvel Legends figures. I got some Marvel Legends figures in the past for Avengers Infinity War and prior to that as well. And I thought they were really cool. I love the detail, the articulation. They're great representations of the characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I absolutely love. Now, recently Marvel has released these figures in honor of the 10-year anniversary, which was actually last year. So I'm a little bit late in getting around to these videos. But I figured better late than never, and it's still a great time to celebrate Marvel Studios with all the awesome stuff that they're doing. So these figures in the Legends series are based on figures or characters from different Marvel movies. So celebrating, obviously, the first 10 years. So, for example, this is number 1 in the set, and there's 10 different ones in the set. And actually, there's like a secret 11th one, but essentially, there's different ones representing different movies. So this one represents the first Iron Man movie. So you have Tony Stark as he is before he becomes Iron Man. And then you have Iron Man Mark 1 that is built in the cave and everything, which is super cool. It's cool to go back and get these characters and special things from the earlier movies. So let's take a quick look at the box, and then we'll take a look at what's inside. So all of the boxes, we'll say, Legend series, they have the Marvel Studios first 10 years logo, tell you the characters that are in here. I guess they have Iron Man symbol because this is an Iron Man set, and of course the movie right there. Also, you can kind of subtly see this, but you have images in the background of various Marvel movies, and that's going to be important in just a second. But I want to highlight this here because they actually have a little biography. Actually, this top paragraph is in English and then other languages there. You can pause the video and read it if you want, but if you haven't seen Iron Man, like, what are you doing? Go back and watch Iron Man, and then the 20 whatever other movies after that. So that's really cool. Marvel Studios, the first 10 years, really, really cool. This set, I believe, is a Walmart exclusive. So some of these sets are at Target, some are at GameStop, some are at Walmart. They're all over the place. So you're going to have to do some digging if you want to get this. And I believe this one is Walmart exclusive, which is odd because it's the first Iron Man movie. Why make that an exclusive? And I had to get it at Walmart.com. I don't know. But this is what I wanted to mention, is you can see scenes from different Marvel movies. And the cool thing about this is every box, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, this is number 1 in the set, in the series, will form a larger image. So what I'm going to do, as I do videos of each of these boxes, I'm going to slowly build and build and build a bigger picture. So you'll be able to see the picture as I continue to review these. So just a fun little fact about the box, and a fun little thing that I'll be doing with the videos. And the back of the box, again, shows you more stuff as well. They have the poster for the movie. So some great touches. I mean, truly celebrating the history of the MCU. And I know I'm spending a lot of time on the box, but this is really a celebration of the movie and everything here, so I think it's important to do. So you have some bios of the characters right there. But enough of that. I think it's time to get this thing open and take a look. Alright, so here are the figures out of the packaging, and these things are pretty cool. So let's take a look at Tony Stark first, right up close. Yeah, really, really cool. I like having a Tony Stark figure. I have a couple of Iron Mans, but I mean, it's nice to finally have one representing Robert Downey Jr., of course. And the Marvel Legends figures are usually pretty good with the faces. This is not like the best face that they've done. Like, man, Paul Rudd, that might just be like the number 1, like, perfect representation of from actor to toy form that Hasbro did. But this is pretty good. The face, I don't know if maybe it looks slightly like the cheeks look pulled back a little bit. Like the face needs to be a little bit more dynamic. Maybe it's the eyes a little bit. I don't know. But overall, it still looks pretty good. I mean, you can definitely think, like, you see this, you would think Tony Stark, so it certainly does fit the character there. But yeah, nice detail. You got the tie and everything. So yeah, so let's take a look at the articulation that comes with this figure. And a lot of these Marvel Legends figures have pretty similar articulation here. So the head does rotate all the way up and down and around. The tie is not really meant to move, but it is a separate little piece. Then you have this little like jacket piece. I suppose you might be able to force it off somehow, but it's not really meant to come off. Like, I guess you could try to. I'm not going to mess with it. It's not meant to be off necessarily, because you see, like, the inside shirt is only right there. Like, it doesn't go into where the sleeves are, so it would just look really odd if you were to take it off. So it's not meant to be taken off. The arms do rotate all the way around, and they move up a little bit, so he's almost horizontal. Here, this part of the arm does rotate around, double joint at the elbow as well, so you got good range of motion there. And the hand itself does not rotate, but it does move in and out a little bit. There's a little bit of range of motion there. Then you also have the legs, which move apart a little bit. He does kick forward, back. Not so much. He doesn't really kick back too much, but the whole leg right here does rotate. Double joint right there. And then in the feet, move up and down as well. And that's kind of the range of motion. His feet, they do turn a little bit too. They do rotate a little bit as well. But yeah. So, oh, and then the whole body does rotate all the way around as well. So there's that. So pretty decent range of motion. I did find that it's a little hard to get him to stand up sometimes, depending on, like, I don't know if the feet are just not, in terms of you getting them in the best position to support the weight of the figure. So that's kind of the tricky little thing. So as you can see, it's a little hard. Like, he tends to bend backwards a little bit, so unless he's kind of hunched over, which does look a little odd. So you sort of have to find a good way to pose him properly, especially with the knees. Maybe you just bend one knee or bend the knees straight, and then you kind of be a little bit more upright, kind of like that. So you just have to play with it a little bit. So that's kind of the only downside there in terms of the articulation. But otherwise, pretty good figure, pretty good representation of Tony Stark. So that brings us then to the Iron Man Mark I. And this thing is really, really cool. Now, keep in mind, I started getting some of the Marvel Legends figures just in recent years. I don't know if years ago they had versions of these figures before, a Tony Stark Iron Man Mark I. I don't know. I don't have them to compare. So I can't really do that. I can compare with some other Iron Man figures as well. But this Mark I figure is my first one, and it looks pretty cool. So here's a random one that I just grabbed that I have for Iron Man. But just to give you an idea, they truly do represent the bigger, bulkier nature of the armor with this figure. So I think they did a really nice job in terms of the overall design of the figure. I think it looks pretty cool. So before I get into the detail of this, I just want to mention it did come with like this little missile thing. It's not that great. Essentially what you do is it goes right into this little cannon here. The problem is it doesn't, I like things that sort of will click into place and you push a button and it makes it fire. This doesn't do that. This just sits there. And so the way that you get it to fire is you just kind of, there's a spring inside, so you just sort of push back and then let go like that. I mean, it kind of works, you know, but like, it's just not as fun. So yeah, I don't know. So it's a thing, I guess, but just wanted to let you know, you know, the use of that. So overall, some really nice detail on this figure as well. So let's kind of zoom in here. And obviously, if you've seen the movie, which of course, why haven't you if you have not? This thing was built in a cave, and so I like the fact that you kind of have this like brown tint all over it, like from dirt and just rust and all these different pieces that he has, all these little numbers and letters and stuff on it there, just kind of really emphasizing that this was just kind of scrapped together, and you really see that all throughout. So I think they did a really nice job with the detail on the figure. And then I believe is this what was used to shoot fire? Or I guess this was the cannon to shoot fire. But that was certainly part of it. These little exposed parts, and yeah, just overall, I think it just looks really, really neat how they designed this thing. And they did a good job with representing the helmet, how it was from the movie and everything. So yeah, I mean, overall, this thing is really, really cool. So, what I will say is the articulation is a lot more limited, but I don't mind it because it's supposed to be more limited. Like, this is not a very fluid suit that he has in the movie, of course. So the head does rotate a little bit, but it doesn't move up or down or anything. The entire body turns a little bit, but it doesn't rotate all the way around, mainly because of this piece in the back that kind of gets stuck when trying to rotate. So it does move a little bit. The arms do rotate all the way around, and then they do rotate upwards to be horizontal. This piece right here does rotate around at where the elbow is, so it does bend a little bit, but you can't bend it inwards that much. This is kind of the extent of it. Same with this arm. Rotates around. You can bend it back, but bending it forwards, like this is the most that it's going to do. Again, this big bulky suit, I think it totally fits right there. So the hands are all attached to this piece right there. With the legs, again, so you can move it apart as much as you can until those pieces on the side prohibit it. It does kick forward and back, surprisingly a decent amount. He does bend a little bit at the knee, but again, not too much. And then this whole piece actually does rotate as well. With the feet, they move up and down a little bit. And then they also do move around like that. So, yeah, I think it's enough, enough to get some dynamic poses and stuff with this thing, but it is limited a little bit in range of motion, which I think is perfectly in character with the suit. So, overall, I think it's really cool. I think, again, if you're a fan of Iron Man, the first movie is what many people regard to be one of the best Marvel movies. And I think this is a great representation of Tony Stark. There's so many Iron Man figures out there, but to have a Tony Stark figure and then one of the Mark I suit, which is pretty special in terms of his beginnings, I think it's a great set to have. So I would definitely recommend checking this out. I believe it's a Walmart exclusive, so you might have to kind of hunt this one down a little bit. There's some other sets that are pretty easy to find, but this one might be a little bit harder, but definitely worth picking up. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought as well, and then stay tuned for more of these Marvel Legends reviews for the first 10 years of Marvel Studios. I'll be continuing going through all 10, actually 11 sets that they have released and more. So looking forward to that. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you later.